Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of well over 440 episodes, and I believe this is episode number 449. So thank you for joining us. If you're watching, listening, if you're here in the United States or somewhere abroad, thank you so much for making the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast a reality day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, second after second. We couldn't do this without you. Help us reach 3,000 cities. Help us reach 300 countries. Help us reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We're well on our way. And again, that's only because of you. If you could do us a huge favor, reach out to 25, 50, 100 of your contacts in your phone. Let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We would greatly appreciate that. You can find us everywhere. If this is your first episode, wherever you're finding us at, you can find us here each and every episode. And there are over 13 additional platforms that you can watch and listen. So, again, all this is because of you. We thank you for being with us, for making Voices for Voices, the longevity that we have we've just been so yearning for, and it's because of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The Olympics, we've like closed that page on the summer 2020. We've closed the page. I'll try that again. We closed the page on the winter 2026 Olympics. And what an Olympics it was. Lots of lots of new faces. Uh, it was just for the little bit that I got to see, mostly through highlights. It was fun to watch. Uh, and we're praying for everybody who unfortunately may have been injured during the Olympics. We are hoping and praying for a speedy and healthy recovery. So thank you. We are growing, and I say this with all due sincerity. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We've talked about it on other shows. We truly are each and every show. Um, and again, that comes back to you. You're the one reaching out and telling your friends and colleagues and loved ones that you're sharing on social media, following Voices for Voices. If you can give us the like, follow, subscribe, share, that would be extra helpful as well. And it's a pleasure to be able to come to you and talk about mental health, talk about life, talk about overcoming trauma, and just being a human being. It's very hard in this world, as we know, to go day to day, not sure what's going to be coming next. We sometimes are pleasantly surprised, and sometimes we're unpleasantly surprised with uh, what uh, what comes that next day. Uh, but just getting to the next day, I think, is a big thing. It's one of those little big things. Like, you may think like, oh, Justin, oh, of course I'm going to live till tomorrow. Well, we don't know that. Nobody knows that. Whether you're a believer in God or not, uh, we don't know. We don't know how much time we have on Earth left. And that's really how we, and I'll just reiterate that at Voices for Voices, we operate with a sense of um, just a sense of intensity, a sense of we don't know this is going to be our last show. It could be. I don't want it to be. Um, but we have to be upfront about life and being a human being. Uh, we're always going to be for good. There's some individuals who are not, and so we're going to be representing and talking about the good people in this world that are doing fantastic things. You and I are doing fantastic things, but for that person who feels down and out, that person that hasn't had a quote unquote good day in a long time, who hasn't had a friend to talk to, or hasn't had a therapist or somebody that can help them through some of life's curveballs that come every single day and multiple times. Yeah, I used to get upset at the small things, but I don't as much anymore because I don't want to spend a good bit of my time for what's left here to be worrying about the small things, like Blink 182, all the small things. I I wish it would have been earlier in life that uh put more things into focus, more positive things into focus. But I can't change any of that now, and neither can you. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to get caught up in the past. But it doesn't make it easy either. Uh, it's not easy to it's not easy to not get caught up in the past. Whether it's a song, whether it's a certain type of weather, uh, whether our car breaks down and needs fixed and we don't have the money to do that, whatever it may be, just know you're not alone. And that was one of the biggest things that I took out of 20 or yeah, 2017 is I can't fix everything. Try to be a fixer, but I can't. I can't fix everything in life, in the world. We can sure try, and that's what we're doing here with Voices for Voices. But just know that you're not alone. Just know that. It may seem like, Justin, nobody's gone through what I'm going through right now. Nobody's experienced that or this. And believe me, somebody has. And in a majority of cases, there's a lot of somebodies that are watching and listening. And maybe that's why our viewership has been picking up. I don't know. I really don't care why it's picking up. I just want to help people. I want to help one person. One person. Helping one person, they seem like, oh, well, you're only helping one person. That's one less person that has to go through a tough time, a tough situation, a tough event. And that one less person, it's not just that one person, it's their family, it's their loved ones, it's the individuals they may work with or come in contact with. And so it's not just we're helping one person. Helping one person may easily be helping 50 to 100 people. So maybe that makes a little more sense why we're asking for help reaching out. You know, if you can reach out the 25 of your contacts and sharing Voices for Voices TV show and podcast with them, we've already grown exponentially. This just takes it again. I think that's what we're seeing is there's so many people that are tuning in to see what this is all about. Like, why should I tune in? My friend, my family member, my significant other said I should check this out because you're not going to find another authentic, down to earth, hard topics and easy topics being discussed than our show. We're number three behind the Dan Bongino show and the Joe Rogan Experience, and we're so happy, but our work's not done here. Our work isn't done. We talk about numbers all the time, but that's not really what it's about. It's about the human connection. It's about what do I do when my brain tells me I'm not good enough? What do I do when my brain tells me I'm not pretty enough? What do I do when my head and my brain says you're not good enough, you're not meant for great things? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you are. You're good enough. You're not alone. You are not alone. How do I know this? I know this because I was in that situation and I still am from time to time with those, uh, those thoughts and ruminating over and over and over again. It's really something we have to believe in ourselves. Nobody anywhere, anytime is going to believe us if we don't believe ourselves. And if we don't believe ourselves, maybe we should look at something else. Maybe look at a different topic, something else that brings us joy, that brings us happiness. I don't know about you, but helping people, even the smallest, even the smallest thing to help somebody with. I get these chills. I get this feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to do something good today. I try every day. I don't succeed every day. All we can do is try. There's uh, children that are learning to ride a bicycle, maybe. And they might say, because maybe they fall, maybe, they get just a short way. They might say, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm saying this from a place of I've been there before. Well, obviously, riding the bike years ago. Uh, but a lot of these things I've been through again. So I repeated myself over and over again, right? So the more we believe it, the more it becomes like, I believe it. I believe I can do it. Yes, there's gonna be obstacles. Yes, there's gonna be zigzags. Yes, there's gonna be forks in the road. And I'm gonna have to think, which direction do I go? Which door do I open? What time do I show up? What do I say? What if I say something wrong? Or I stutter. I've done that from time to time. We just try our best. That's all we can do. And bring attention that there's people in this world, you and me, and a lot of others that can use a little bit of a pep talk right now. I mean, just sitting here speaking to you, whether you're watching or listening, whether your English is your first language or it's not, man, helping people, nothing feels better than that. Because every time I help somebody and that I'm able to recognize that I'm helping somebody, because sometimes we don't realize that we're helping people because we just think, well, we're going on with our day, and we don't know if certain things are going to happen, and we're actually going to help somebody. A lot of times we don't know that we're helping somebody. How do we quantify that? As I mentioned, helping one person is not just helping that one person because there's loved ones, there's friends or family, there's teachers or pastors, there are pets that love everybody that are better off because we're here. And I know times are tough. Times are hard. Times are very hard. But we have that option. We have that choice. Do we pick ourselves up? Do we continue on? Do we get out of bed today? Do we brush our teeth if we're able to? Do we wash our face? Do we get a shower or bath if we're able to? See, these are things that we sometimes overlook. Like, oh, well, I brush my teeth. Well, of course, that's an easy thing to do. I'm not here saying for a lot of people that it isn't somewhat easy. I'm lucky. I have 10 fingers. I have 10 toes. I have two arms, two shoulders. I have two eyes, a nose, a mouth, two ears. So right there, I, I just need to be grateful because I know, like we got a little visitor here. I know how hard it is to do things. And that's from experience. That's not me just saying, these tips. There's a lot of tips out there. Well, if you just do this, well, maybe you can't. Maybe I can't, but maybe we can. Maybe we can't do it every day, but maybe we can do it today or tomorrow. We don't have to write everything out. Journaling is fantastic, but I get caught up in I'll do it for a while and then I'll just fall off the horse and I just won't do it for a day. And then one day turns into 2 days and 3 days. And so we just have to take what life gives us and use what we're given, whether you're a believer in God or not, or a higher power. Man, our minds, the mental part, that's so hard. It's so hard. So hard, even for me and for us to do these shows. Because guess what? It's easy not to do them. It's easy to not to do them. And then I start to think there's somebody that could be helped. And so that makes me happy that I have that opportunity, that our organization, Voices for Voices, has that opportunity to help others. And so then you hear a dog is shaking around, shaking it off. And so it's that helping others. That's what we're here for. Again, we get all kinds of comments. We get positive comments. We get comments that are not very kind. However, we're here to help. And if somebody's not happy with where they're at and what they're doing, I don't claim to say we're going to help every single person across the world. We got big goals. Yeah, I want to help. We want to help over 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Will we hit that goal? I don't know. But you've helped us get that get those jet engines fired up. And looking at the analytics that I can see, because there's so much that's hidden analytic wise that we can't see. It's just amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're helping this grassroots movement titled Voices for Voices. Whether you watch, whether you listen, whether you buy a book or two or 100, uh, when our TV shows and movies and other media sprouts. That's how you can watch. That's how you can be a part of Voices for Voices. That's how you can know that you're helping people too, because you're using us as the vehicle of the helping. Just like the show is helping us, myself, help people. There's ups and there's downs. There's ups and there's downs. There's ups and there's downs. It is our honor to be able to come speak to you, whether you're watching, listening, first episode or all 449 episodes. I see you. We see you. We see you watching. We see you listen. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. I've had dreams, and I think you do too. Yeah, you want to be on camera too, don't you? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. We all have dreams. Okay. You're being super silly. We all have had dreams, and we all do have dreams. No, 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 no. This is definitely going to end up as one of the clips. I know it. If not one, there's going to be a couple. I've had dreams, and I do dream. I do dream about helping people. And so that might be part of the reason why it makes me feel good when I help somebody. And there's so many people that I don't get to help. It's that thing called being on. Haven't talked about this in a while. Being on, that means being at ourselves and our maximum capacity. So whether we're on a show or we're met at an event, that's called being on. Like I gotta be at the top of my game. I have to be that leader, that founder of Voices for Voices every day, every minute, every second, every month, every year. And so that gets exhausting, especially with some like since I have mental illness. My brain gets tired, I guess. tired easily. So it needs extra time to rejuvenate. And so there's some times where I I'm not on. I'm not at my peak. I don't know anybody that is and can be. I mean, maybe if you have assistants and secretaries and people to handle a lot of different things for you, maybe that causes the brain load to go down for you, but I don't. And so there's times where, like my psychiatrist says, I'm an introvert. I know you're watching and listening and going, wait a minute, that an introvert can't be speaking and being in front of a camera so much, so often. And I didn't think I could either, but I can in spurts. So some days we'll film 2 or 3 episodes, and then it might be a week until we film one episode because there's a lot of things on the back end, titles, descriptions, hashtags, all those things. And so for the shows, I try to be as on. That just means like, okay, 3, 2, 1, you're on. I mean, I guess I may have signed up for this, and that's okay. But I'm just letting you know that it's okay if you're not feeling on. Yeah, this is the newest member of our family, Lucy. Say hi, everybody. My name's Lucy. And so be on when you can. Maybe it's once a month, once a year. I don't know. But what I do know is don't feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. I'm going to end this episode with a story I've mentioned. So when I got out of the hospital in 2017, November 2017, so Christmas was, coming up. And one of the big things I had was, and I still have, is being in like big groups. And so I can talk in front of big groups because I have an idea of what I want to say sometimes. But again, oftentimes that changes. And so we have to adapt. And so I found myself by myself at church extra early because I wanted an aisle seat and I wanted to be up front. And so I did that as the pews. or rows started to fill up the closer the time got to the starting of Mass. There was a family that came and they sat in my row, and I wanted to be on the end because in case I had a panic attack, I could get out fast. I would be on the end, and so I would just stand up and then head out. And so this family next to me, there was a young boy, there was his mom. Oh, no, no. Lucy, Lucy, let's just hang out, okay? And so his so the young gentleman and his mom and his dad, they were sitting next to me. And the young gentleman, he asked to get up a, a few times. I don't know if it was two or three times. But like I said, I was there quite early. And so I just figured, he wanted to stretch his legs and all that. So regardless, it didn't bother me. So he came back and then he went out again. And then his mom, okay, so this is the very first large gathering that I was at after the hospital I was in, getting my mental health starting to be addressed. Okay. So that was part of me having the panic attacks too. And then the depression and all the things. So one of the last ones, or one of the last times, the young man got up. His mom mentioned that that her son gets nervous in groups. And and so I said, I do too. I said, I have anxiety, major depression, and I started to share as much as you can and a couple minute conversation. And so when he came back, I don't know if I introduced myself, like, hi, I'm Justin. So somehow I just, I said, hey, man, I have anxiety too. You know, I was in the hospital, I'm on a path. And I said something to the effect of, doesn't matter how many times you want to get out and you want to stretch your legs or maybe go get a drink of water or whatever. Like, don't worry about it. I said, because I am too going through the same thing that you are, like the same, nervousness, anxiousness, impatient. And he goes, man, there's police out there. I wonder what's going on. Is everything okay? And I said, yeah, they're just out there probably directing the traffic because this is one of the biggest, the most people attend this particular, the Christmas Eve vigil mass. And I said, yeah, like But there's nothing extra that's going on. That's just what they're doing. They're just, keeping people safe and directing traffic. And so I told them then again, I said, hey, if you got to get out 20 more times or whatever number I gave, I said, you don't have to be ashamed. I said, you and I were in the same boat. I said, I might get up and do the same thing. And so he got up again and his mom said, thanks for, talking to her son. And I said, hey, like, we're all human and I'm not just making this stuff up. I said, this is real life for me too. I don't keep in touch with them. I don't I don't even know if I know their last name. But what I'm trying to get at is we can help people. And I feel like God put me there that day in that row where I was at. I could have been there are hundreds of other places I could have been in church that day. And I never would have met that young man and his mom. And so when I say helping one person can help more, and it does. And so I was able to see it helped that young man, helped his mom, helped his dad. Because even if they didn't show that they were nervous and they're anxious, sitting next to somebody that just so openly, like me, just so openly talk about what I was going through too, that's what I'm talking about. We're not alone. You have a life to live. We all do. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have days that are so-so. They're average. They're just what they are. And so for you to help us reach one person, one additional person, or 20 additional people, or 100, or follow us on any of our social medias, that's how we get to help over 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity. So if you're willing and able and so moved, you can go over to lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org. And we accept donations of any denomination. We have big goals, big aspirations. Thank you for being with us on this episode and all the episodes of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. I'm your host, founder of Voices for Voices, Justin Allen Hayes. Let's celebrate the voices of everybody and let's be a voice for ourselves and those in need. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being with us. It means so much. We're sending good vibes your way. We love you. We think about you. And thank you for being a part of the Voices for Voices movement. We'll talk to you next time. Sending love, good vibes your way.